that would be a good start. And then by next, well, I don't think we're gonna have it by next month, but maybe by December we'll have the report from GI. You know, the full report, so. Okay, next thing is, parking stickers. John, you and, Frank worked on this. I think this came out excellent. The only thing I had was, on parking enforcement policies. The third paragraph down where you guys had parking shall be limited only to one side of the road. I would just add in there that, it's designated by, you know, where the code puts the signs, what they decided which is the better side to put the signs on. And that was the only thing I saw. I thought this was really good. And anyone else had anything? Because I wanted to approve it so that we could order the parking stickers for 2017 for January.
My only criticism, I don't think it necessarily needs to be changed, is that the purpose justifies it, but it's written not as policy. In another incident, the department identified too, it just needs to state policy, this is the way it's going to be. And I mean, it's the kind of a thing where it might be that would be something that we might write in a memo, if we put out a blast to the residents about why we're doing something, you know. But if this is the actual thing that's gonna go into our codes, I don't know that I would do this that way.
Well, it's gonna be a policy. It's not gonna be a new code. So it's just gonna go into the policy book like we have all the other ones. So.
Is this the one that at the end there was an addendum where in case it was a babysitter or something?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Or maybe a family member.
All right. Frank, do you think that was tight enough the way the wording was?
That might be something that we might have to.
Tweaking?
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Yeah, if you
we
could.
discussed it and we went back and forth for days on how to address that with the resident, allow a resident to have that
Yeah.
special permit.
Right.
But yet,
It needs to be
it became
written
yeah.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, this isn't going into a code, it's not a law.
Yeah.
It's just an unofficial, you know, our policy.
Mhm.
The parking enforcement policy is our internal policy for public safety only. And that really hasn't changed since, the only thing we changed at the recommendation of John and after discussing with the clerk's office. We just shortened the parking time frame a little bit, that's it.
Okay.
So are you thinking for the special permit, maybe only one additional one to the house or two additional ones? What does everybody think?
You know, I mean, family members and a babysitter, maybe two max.
Yep, okay. Anyone else have any comments?
And again, I commend Frank on doing a great job of working out with stuff. Well done.
It's much involved.
A lot of work, you know, went into that.
Is this, are we looking at it all together, or this is the enforcement?
Yeah, that was part of it. Okay, that was the thing that I said, if we just had it done.
I know we had a discussion and, about, people, realtors showing houses, and then open houses, and then, and Frank, I think that you made the comment, well, if it's happening during the day, then somebody can be notified. If it allows people to park.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
But, my thinking is that if we don't need to incorporate that into the policy, then maybe we should, once we adopt this, to notify the various, local real estate, offices of this policy, because, I mean, you'll never get everybody, because we occasionally have people showing houses from Nassau County, you know. There are times where it's up to the realtor to do all this stuff. The person who's got the listing is the house might be empty. There's a million scenarios where you have the person who has the listing arranging for the open house, and they have all these people showing up, and that's way down on the list, is where people are going to park. But we should at least put it out there, and hopefully safety will understand. Usually there's a sign, open house, and then you guys would probably.
And if I may, I think the reason why we put that parking enforcement policy together was because residents seemed to be confused on what we were enforcing, what we weren't enforcing, and what discretion we were using. So we wanted to show the residents that we were using discretion, right? If you're having work done and you put your car in the street because you got 2 trucks in the driveway, and of course it doesn't require a permit, we're not looking to give you summons, and I don't want the officers to give you a summons. So that's kind of one of the reasons why we put that in there. All right, so, but the policy should be, the officer should adapt a little bit to it and change as using discretion depending on the situation. So an open house, there's a sign out there that says open house, yes, they should have applied for a permit. But during the daytime, we go there, maybe, we know that those cars are in front of that house and it's for that open house. Using discretion, I don't want the officers necessarily to write tickets.
So that's where we had left it, and we had this discussion, and what I'm saying is, okay, so it doesn't sound like we have to tinker with the policy itself. It was a courtesy to just let the realtors, or the real estate officers know so that the managers or brokers who are in charge of that particular office, at least put the word out if you're gonna be showing something in Poquott. Just be
Run the other way.
Not everybody knows there's no parking in the streets, or no parking on both sides.
But, they just think, well, that doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so, do we want to vote on accepting this policy, or do we want to table it for next month? Okay, so let's vote on it, then we can also have, you can talk to the clerk's office about ordering these stickers, the way they're gonna look.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Make a motion to vote for the, 2017 residential parking.
Second.
Policy. All in favor?
Okay.
They're gonna be on the back of the,
Like a mirror.
mirrors, right?
That's
Okay.
the-
Okay. Jeff, property maintenance, the grant. I made some notes, but if you wanna talk about it first.
Yeah, I do. Everybody have a chance to look it over? This is something that Frank and I, just from a series of issues with specific houses, we kind of felt that it was needed, same logic you just talked about with parking, to at least put it down in writing so that everybody knows what exactly are the issues, as well as to maybe reassure people that it's not going to represent a huge change. The recollection was the property maintenance code that had been proposed about, I'm gonna say 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and it was extremely contentious, and there were some things in there, they tried to put everything in there. And birdhouses, for example, were outlawed, and things that just got everybody crazy and shouted at. But there are some things that I think probably needed to be done so that when we have these extreme cases, houses that have been in construction for 1,000,000 years with junk left all over the place, issues with standing water, given the mosquito issues with West Nile and now
Walnut Beach.
and so that we have something that says, okay, this is our thinking, and
I'm not a tenant.
the average resident gets a lot of warning, so it's not as if all of a sudden we're going to become a police state. But there are plenty of issues that we need to have out there online for everybody to see, and it conforms with the state codes, which, as I mentioned before, was a surprise to me when Joe Poquott pointed it up. All these things already exist. And it's just an opportunity for us to put down our particular roadmap, which says, well, this is what we're concerned about, and this is, so we're kind of making this an issue. So I don't think there's anything in there that's contentious, and obviously we'll have a public hearing once we move forward on it. But Frank and I kind of vetted it between the two of us, and then we sent it all out, and nobody seemed to have any real issues with it, so I think we're ready to schedule a public hearing, and I don't think there's anything controversial, but there's nothing in there that anybody would say, oh, that's not part of the state code, and that's terrible, we can't have it in Poquott.
Yeah, and I some of the notes I made were just to add stuff in, like where you said registered mail and regular mail, like small stuff like that I can send all these comments. Like there's nothing changing it, it's just comments like belongings should be kept in the rear of the yard or out of sight of public view, just small things like that we can put in there for the final thing. So
Belongings.
I say, yeah, we'll have a resolution at the next meeting, we should schedule it for the next meeting, but I think there will be a lot of people show up for it, and I don't think we can have it here, so we'll have to have the clerk look at the library or back at Porch after there, okay?
Takes longer to get the room.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember anything about mail, registered mail.
It says here that it's served by registered mail, and then I just wrote, or regular mail.
Oh, the serving of the. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you meant, don't leave the mail out.
Okay, so, okay, anything else before we adjourn the work session? Have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
You wanna take 5 minutes,